Sorry if I sound a little funny today, but I left my best microphones at headquarters as I begin a new school year on Monday at Madison Grant, going from headquarters in Jeffersonville to Stage 22 in Elwood. Forgot my favorite microphones. Not that big of a deal, but anyway, what you're listening to is the Central Indiana Sports Report podcast number 344.2. John Robertson and Michelle Garmon's reaction to the Fever 78-74 win over the Storm, their fifth straight victory. We will recap every single game the rest of the year, and we'll have a Fever report every week the rest of the season through the WNBA Finals. Please join us.
You're listening to the Central Indiana Sports Report with your host, Greg Mengelt.
Welcome, Fever fans, to the Central Indiana Sports Report and our reaction to the Fever 78-74 win over the Seattle Storm, their fifth win in a row. I'm your host, Greg Mengelt, coming to you today from a rest stop on my way back to Elwood. I'm joined by John Robertson, our Fever guy, and Michelle Garmon of the Tipton Tribune and Elwood Call Leader, joining us from the road right now. And guys, some good defense, some good ball sharing. Not the prettiest win in the world, but you got to be thrilled with 5 wins in a row, John.
Yeah, I'm absolutely happy with 5 wins in a row. To be able to put together this win streak without Caitlin, you've got to be super happy about it. You've got to be really incredibly happy with the way they're playing. Up until about the middle of the fourth quarter, they looked like they were completely in control. They let Seattle go on a little bit of a run, but it was good to see them put a stop to the run and close out the win. So lots of positives to take away from the game. Absolutely. Even though the score is closer than you would like to see based on how it was going, a win's a win, especially over Seattle. That gets us the tiebreak versus them since we just jumped them in the standings.
Not a bad team, Michelle.
Fever on the road, I think they're doing exactly what you want them to do. They're just going out, taking a workman's approach, bringing their lunch pails, and they're being, efficient. And the great thing is they're also finding ways to overcome adversity. Kelsey Mitchell, this was not a good shooting game for Kelsey, and especially she struggled early, but the fact that the Fever could still lead and control with that says a lot about where this team is right now.
I agree that what we've seen throughout this road trip, this 5-game winning streak, is you never know who's going to be the one to step up and take control and be the leader of the team, but someone's going to step up and make sure they're filling a role and getting us the points we need or the defensive stop we need. So that's absolutely fantastic.
Guys, what I liked about today was the balance. 7 players with at least 6 points, 6 players with at least 9 points. Even more than that, 25 assists on 31 baskets. That's getting the job. And that's without Caitlin Clark. That is getting the job done, and that is a good sign for the postseason.
The ball movement's been really, really good. And I was really impressed with Aari today as far as assists. I'll be honest with you, when she and Kelsey are both on the court, I sometimes have a hard time telling which one's which because their movement is very similar. They're both incredibly fast. Aari gets the nod as far as passing goes, but they're both just so quick with the ball.
They're quick with the ball, quick without the ball, both lefties, right? Correct. So it's in their shot, that 3-point shot, sometimes I do have to listen to find out who made it if I don't see the number.
I'm kind of the same thing because my wife and I were discussing, they have about a similar size and shape, and they move incredibly similarly that if you don't see the number, you're not necessarily going to know which one it is. Let's give a shout out to Aari real quick. Not only is she on this 5-game road trip, she's finishing up her master's degree right now, so she's got a 12-page paper due this week. So
Whoa.
I'm really impressed.
Big shout out.
Yeah, that's hugely impressive. She's playing really well on the court. I mean, she definitely fourth quarter was not strong for her as well, but like for first three quarters were really really good. But then and she's working on putting together her master's degree papers. So that takes some guts and some
Howard,
effort.
Natasha's had, after struggling a little bit. I mean, she had a great rebounding game the other night and everything, and then she was really good today for the most part.
Yeah, 21 points today.
When she plays under control, she's fantastic.
Yeah, I was happy to see her have a good game, and that goes back to what I was saying. Like, you just never know who's going to be the one to put up the big numbers for the day, but you can always count on pretty much someone. Aaliyah Boston had a double-double, a 12-rebound double-double, so that's a good game for her. I'm really impressed with this team. They're putting together some really great performances, and I hope that once Caitlin comes back, that they can just add to what they built, not just struggle to fit her in. I really hope that's the case.
I do too, but you gotta love. I mean, but you do have to really love the way they are playing right now. And again, back-to-back road wins. It's pretty nice. I mean, it's
over teams ahead of them in the standings.
Yes, that's the important part. I'm just now looking at the box score, and I didn't realize that Timpson didn't play at all today. I'm assuming that's probably a matchup thing because Seattle's got some really big, center and forwards. So maybe they thought that it was going to be difficult for her to fit in on that rotation, but it's kind of surprising she didn't play at all. Dantas did okay.
She had a nice day.
Dantas. Yeah, she's -6 on the plus-minus 6 points, but still, when she was out there, she was effective, I thought, so.
Because she's looking for her shot, and she's been able to knock down some threes and even some jumpers, and, that's always a good thing because that means when she's on the floor, the other team's one of their post players, they have to respect that, and they have to come out, which, that's just does nice things then for Aari and for Mitchell and Sophie. It just creates so much. Cutting lanes, driving lanes.
Yeah, and Seattle's a good team, honestly. Like, Nneka Ogwumike is strong, and I thought Dominique Malonga had a really good game. Their rookie, she had a pretty solid game. They're going to be difficult as they start to figure it out together, but I'm really happy with the win today. And that's pretty much just the bottom line.
Good win. Isn't I guess we'll lead into here in a minute about who the Fever have next, but they still have at least, 3 more road games?
We'll get to that here in just a second, Michelle. Real fast, I want to go over the standings because it's becoming quite vital with 11 games to go. They are now in the 5th spot, a half game behind Phoenix, 1 game behind Atlanta, and I think they're better than both of those teams, clearly. And then now just 1.5 games behind New York. And if you can get home court against New York in the playoffs, that would be huge.
It would be huge. Realistically, anybody's got a shot here. With Nafisa Collier being hurt and we don't know how long she's going to be out, that really is going to...
They got a nice lead.
They do, but I'm just saying that's going to affect Minnesota going into the playoffs if she can't make it back in time. They picked up...
I was getting ready to ask you, John, if you think that's one of the reasons they went and got Carrington.
Carrington's not really an offensive player, though. She's mostly defensive.
Right, but they consider Fee their best defensive player. That's why and even if she comes back, she's probably not going to be able to guard. Yeah, I mean, she's not going to be able to same defensively because she rolled that ankle pretty good. I would be surprised if she is 100% the rest of the season.
Well, I think that Carrington wanted out of Dallas from what I can tell from the tea leaves on socials. It seemed like she wanted out of there. Minnesota probably got a pretty good deal on it. They could always use the defense. Minnesota's pretty strong offensively anyway, so I don't know. I thought it was I don't want to say it was a big move, but anytime you're adding any talent to a team like Minnesota, it's notable.
John and Michelle, we talked about this going into this stretch, about a 10-game stretch coming up that they needed to take advantage of. So far, 5-0. John, you said originally 6-4 would be okay, 7-3 would be great. You have to be changing your mind on that. They've got the Fever, they've got the Sparks on Tuesday night at 10 o'clock on CBS Sports Network. Then they go to Phoenix. That's a tough one on Thursday on Prime Video. Then they return home to face the Sky, the Wings, and the Mystics. 3 games they should win. Your expectations have to have changed, John.
I wouldn't be happy with 6-4 at this point. They want, like, the Seattle game, I thought was one of the ones that was a coin flip.
And
We
Phoenix.
still got to beat, and Phoenix is a coin flip, but like we've already got 5 wins, so we should be able to pick up one against the Sparks. Like, we haven't beat them yet this year, so like you hope they get one, because I really do think we're the better team. But maybe there's just something in the matchup. Phoenix will be tough. Chicago, we should win. Dallas, we should win. Mystics, we should win. Connecticut, we should win. So realistically, at this point, I'm looking at what'd you say, 10-game stretch? Or I'd like to see 8-2, 8-2,
9-1.
9-1.
I think that should be your expectation.
I'll take 8-2, because sometimes we play down to our opponents too much.
The way they've looked lately, I'd say 9-1, Michelle.
9-1, realistically would be great, but I'm kind of like John. I'll take 8-2 because here's the thing, should they win, then they could go win all 10. But sometimes you just run into a night where you just can't hit anything, and the other team just can hit everything, whether you got a hand in their face or not. And if you run into something like that, then you can take a setback, and that could happen. Although you hope it doesn't. But I think a game on the road at Phoenix, that would be one. If we weren't shooting really well and they were shooting very well, we could be in a little bit of trouble.
That's the one.
I think Phoenix and LA are going to be the 2 that I think we could lose. And honestly, we should beat the Sparks. Like, absolutely should beat the Sparks.
So 9-1.
We should.
But we haven't beat them yet.
But it's a matchup thing.
Exactly.
It's their length. I think their length bothers us some. But I will say this, that's what I kind of like about the way they're playing right now, and the addition of Bibby. That's another 6'1", 6'2" player that outside she can shoot. With Dantas knocking down threes now, LA will come running out, but then that should open up the quickness of, Kelsey maybe needs to look to drive more and Aari against the Sparks, against that length, because you can beat that length off the dribble instead of letting that length bother you or trying to shoot over that length sometimes. And then they're just.
So I think the real biggest.
I was just going to say,
the biggest concern we got to worry about. Yeah.
Against that.
I think when we look at the schedule, though, we got to look at August 22nd, 24th with back-to-back against Minnesota, once there, once here.
Yes.
That's going to be.
Minnesota.
Yeah. We don't have an easy schedule from here on out. Like, this 10-game stretch, we've talked about, we should go 8-2 at this point. But beyond that, it's going to get tough. Yeah, Minnesota, Seattle again, LA again, Phoenix again, and Minnesota again. Like, it's
that's why we were saying you got to take advantage of it this stretch right here, because those were all winnable games.
Well, and the problem is you're going to be coming out of this gauntlet right before the playoffs, so we got to make sure our play. Like, if we get at some point you get comfortably in a decent seed, how much do you worry about 2 versus 3, etc.? You know what I mean? Like, we'll let players rest to make sure you're good for the playoffs.
Rest is more important, but they're both important.
Yeah, absolutely they are, because you want home field, you want home court advantage. We need home court.
Thanks so much to John and Michelle for reacting to another Fever win. Always enjoy doing the reaction podcast. Like them a lot more after wins. Please do us a favor and share this podcast with the Fever fans in your life. And help spread the word that the Central Indiana Sports Report is here, talking about Central Indiana sports every single day. Appreciate it. The Central Indiana Sports Report is a product of ITG Media, and I love Susie.